Benjamin January had not been an intimate friend of Ramses Ramillies, but he had known the man, literally, all of Ramillies' life. Ramses's mother lived next door to the house that Saint-Denis Janvier had bought for Benjamin's mother when he had purchased her, a beautiful mulatto house slave of 25, from a sugar planter with whom he did business. One of January's earliest memories in that pink-washed cottage had been his mother going to help Nanette Ramillies with the birth of her first child. She'd taken along January's younger sister, Olympe, to help out, though the girl was only 6, and when he himself had visited, remembering to go in by way of the backyard, and thence through the French door into Albert Ramillies' bedroom, as his mother said was proper for gens de couleur libre, now they lived in New Orleans, he hadn't been allowed to hold the squirmy bundle that was his family's newest neighbor. "You'll just drop him," Olympe had said smugly, and Benjamin, delivering her the sharp kick in the shin that would have been perfectly acceptable a few months before when they were both just members of the hog-meat gang on Bellefleur Plantation, had been sent home with a slap. Now, 34 years later, that tiny baby was dead. The summer of 1836 had been a hard one. Though it was now the 7th of October, heat still lay heavy over New Orleans, and as the hearse with its 4 black horses drew up outside the gates of the old cemetery, the stench of the tombs made Ramses's wife Liselle gag. Yesterday's rains, they sailed in from the Gulf every afternoon with clockwork regularity, had left puddles among the whitewashed brick tombs, and where this morning's shortening shadows lay, mosquitoes whined like ash whirled up in smoke. "It's all very well for Monsieur Quesnel to provide gloves and rings and armbands," murmured Hannibal Sefton, as Ramses's professional colleagues held their instruments aside to let the pallbearers pass. "Not to speak of plumes on the coffin, as well as on the horses, which I'm sure is a great comfort to poor Liselle." "To her mother it is." January's voice was dry as he adjusted the tuning of his Spanish guitar. He had never liked Ramses's mother-in-law. "Maybe someone could suggest something extra for the musicians. Medico della Pesta masks, perhaps? Those long-nosed Venetian things? One can stuff an astonishing amount of vinegar-soaked cotton in the proboscis." Would you really want to see what Liselle's mother would come up with, trying to outdo Ramses's mother in that department? Hannibal shuddered. "A palpable hit, amicus meus," he conceded. "The competition for most lugubrious veil is already pretty frightening." He nodded in the direction of Nanette Ramillies and her lifetime rival, Denise Glaçon, each swathed in enough black tulle to suffocate an army. "2 bits says Madame Glaçon faints first." "And take her eyes off her son?" January nodded back toward the hearse, where Felix Glaçon was loudly objecting to the insistence of Beauvais Quesnel, the undertaker, that he bear the center of the coffin rather than one of its forward corners. "Never,"